Thank you for tuning in to the 2025 US Open, a Tier 1 National Crokinole Association event. We are in the semifinal round, and in this matchup, we have the Canadian Cueballs, Jeremy Tracey and Andrew Hutchinson versus Hammer Time, Langill and Josh Carrafiello. All these players are top 10 ranked in the National Crokinole Association, so this is sure to be a doozy. This is a race to 9. Let's get to the action. The Canadian Cueballs won the volley, which means Hammer Time will take the lead, giving the Canadian Cueballs the hammer of the very first round. Again, this is a race to 9 points. The winner will go on to the finals to face the One Cheek Wonders, Eric Mammon and Ian Shaw. Ron to shoot now. Jeremy unable to convert on the 20. 2 blue on the board currently, but Canadian Cueballs with the hammer advantage, feeling pretty comfortable right now. For a bit of context, the Canadian Cueballs team of Andrew Hutchinson and Jeremy Tracey most recently won the Charleston doubles tournament. Oh! Carrafiello with a good attempt there. Now the team of Langill and Carrafiello, we've seen this team many times before. They won the 2024 Ontario Doubles Championship. They also played this very same team in the Scenic City Crokinole Classic semifinals, and they took the victory, I believe, 10-4 over Jeremy and Hutchinson. But that was months ago. We are here now. We will see how this plays out. Still in a very similar situation. Hammer Time, 2 discs on. So far, nobody has converted a 20. And a difficult double. It doesn't look like the double is there for Hutchinson, so he's going to opt for the single off here. Decent shot, not leaving Carrafiello a lot to work with. Not perfectly between the posts, but not much more than a follow through here for Carrafiello. Oh! And he almost gets it. Not quite though. This could be a cleaner double for Jeremy. We'll see if he goes for it. Could be tight. Nice roll away. That's nicely hidden. Not sure if Ron looks like he's going to try to go through his own. We'll see if it works out. Oh! Misfire from Ron. Invalid shot. Open board now for Hutchinson. And he converts. Very nice. Pressure now on Hammer Time. Significantly more than before. Still playing against the hammer. Now down to 20. Jeremy doing a decent job keeping that disc away from the center. I don't think there's an easy drop back here for Langill. Oh, rolling to the outside. That hurts. Hutchinson will be looking to get a shooter somewhere that Carrafiello won't have an easy rolling off of. That's okay. I think he's cut off the angle enough with that post. At least no straight line. Carrafiello leaves Tracey with a backboard. They get a 220 advantage. Could seal the round. Very nice from Jeremy. And a nice toss in the cup as well. Ron unable to get a 20 there. Hammer Time isn't mathematically out of it, but they are in deep right now. Only a few shots remaining, and it's looking like the Canadian Cueballs are going to take the first 2 points of this race to 9. Hutchinson pushing through. Not sure if that's what he wanted to do. Nonetheless, to Carrafiello now. Unable to get the follow through. Jeremy could go for a 20 here, but doesn't really need it at this point. Might be more concerned about clearing up the board. Now, the only way Hammer Time could get back into it is if Jeremy drops a 20 here for the other team, which he doesn't do. Best Langill can do is hit that off and try to stay in the 10. At the very least, Hutchinson will have to shoot, but not a difficult shot. Hutchinson just needs to make contact with something and not promote that disc in the 10. And the Canadian Cueballs take the first 2 points of this match, bringing the score 2-0. See that nice roll away from Tracey as well as that 20 conversion. Going to the second round now, Jeremy to open up. Coming up short, we are not seeing many or any aggressive 20s races so far. Langill with a clean conversion. Hammer Time. Enjoying their Hammer Time, as they will have the last shot of this round, but Carrafiello lips out. Invalid shot. Pretty much full reset here. Jeremy now finding his groove. Langill follows suit. Here's the 20s race we are looking for. Now, I don't know the exact standings as they are, but all 4 players around the table are in the top 10 standings of the National Crokinole Association. So what you're watching is some of the top play crokinole you're going to get on the internet. Full circle around. Nobody's missed so far. Oh! Commentator's curse, Langill, I'm sorry. Somebody suggested they have a shock button or somebody smack me upside the head anytime I do that, because that hurts. Hutchinson unable to convert, though. Canadian Cueballs are up at 20 right now, so despite them playing against the hammer, they are in a decent position to take this second round. Oh, Carrafiello trying for the follow-through, just a little bit off, though. No easy 20s here for Jeremy. Might just be trying to roll away. Beautiful. On the outside now. Absolutely nothing Langill can do but get the takeout and hope that Carrafiello has an opportunity to get in. Hutchinson, not upset about that, but I don't think that's what he wanted. Oh, Carrafiello had the line, but not enough power. Here is a 20 opportunity for Jeremy. Doesn't get it again. That could spell trouble. If Ron and Carrafiello can end with 2 in the 15, assuming the same situation, and with a 20. Hammer time is right back into this match. Andrew, though, with an off and a 20, very nice. Could come down to this final 20s race. Carrafiello going long. Jeremy most certainly needs to get the off here. They are up at 20, but he can't afford to leave a disc on the board. At the very least, it wouldn't be good if he did. Gets the off, very nice. Langill most definitely hunting for a follow-through on this shot. Doesn't get it. Hutchinson looks like he's going to come from the diagonal and try to roll away to the far side of the 15 from Carrafiello. This is the final shot. As long as he gets the off and doesn't set up Carrafiello, Canadian Cueballs should take another 2 points, sticking between the posts. Very nice. I thought that'd be a roll, but that's probably even better, a lot more low risk. And Carrafiello has to go for something crazy. He's going to be the off angle, catch a post. You see Langill pointing around the board. Not sure what they're cooking up, but it's do or die time, so we'll see what Carrafiello is able to do here. Going through the diagonal, going for the long angle to a post. Oh, doesn't get it, and another 2 points go to the Canadian Cueballs. See some decent highlights around the board, though. Langill was on with those touch 20s. Hutchinson, though, this final one. That one there really turned the tides of the match. We'd like to give a huge shout out to the Extra Pint Crokinole Club. They were the organizers behind the US Open. They threw on a fantastic event. If you want to learn more about this club, we have linked their website in the description below. Make sure you go give them some love. Hammer time currently up at 20 and play on the outside. This is a decent position for them. They are playing against the hammer, but right now with 2 discs on the board, feeling, I'd say, decently comfortable right now. Hutchinson has to decide which disc he wants to roll in from. Oh, going for the assist. Or maybe not. A unique double, bit of cleanup on the board. And something of a hide from Carrafiello. Not super well hidden, Carrafiello able to get that. Back to Jeremy now. Not sure if he'll be able to angle in here or not. Gets it into the 15. Very nice. Ron rolling to the further side of the 15 from Hutchinson. No easy 20 opportunities for him here. Looks like Jeremy was pointing towards a post. That's an ambitious shot, but certainly doable. Lots of action, not quite able to get it, and may have set Carrafiello up for a 20. Should be there. We'll see if he's able to convert. And he gets it with the off. Very nice. Up a 220 advantage in the cup right now. Jeremy trying to close the distance. And we are right into a 20s race. Now, the Canadian Cueballs need the first mistake to come from hammer time. Oh, but Hutchinson comes up short. Could be a 20 here for Carrafiello. He could roll away too, but it looks like he's going to go for the conversion. I think, yeah, it was a gimme. May as well go for it. Up 320s now. Canadian Cueballs are in deep. Jeremy again, draining a 20, but they're still down 2. I don't think the hammer advantage is of much use at this point. So we're down to the final shots. They need to start converting. But where Langill left that, near impossible for Hutchinson to get in. A follow-through is technically possible, but so tough. Okay, there. Hutchinson tries to go for the assist, but too far back for Jeremy to work with. Nice double from Carrafiello. Yeah, Jeremy not able to work with that. And I think shots are pretty much inconsequential at this point. Unless Hutchinson and Jeremy can convert their next 2 shots. Hope Carrafiello doesn't score an open 20. And they clear all those blue discs. A lot of things they need to go right. Oh, he went for the double in the 20. Didn't get it. That seals the round. Shots inconsequential. Hammer time will take their first 2 points. Bring the score 4-2 now. Still in favor of the Canadian Cueballs. But good play there. We see a nice roll away from Carrafiello. This unique, weird double from Hutchinson. And yeah, just those opportunities Carrafiello was able to take advantage of. Seeing some nice highlights as hammer time is most certainly not out of this match by any means. Hutchinson opening up. Hammer time with hammer time now. Carrafiello lipping out though. And Jeremy with a roll away, just barely staying in. Not really hidden from Ron, but again, nothing Ron can really work with there. I think they're having a bit of a chuckle about how close that was, but Hutchinson content to stick there, forcing Carrafiello to try to roll in. No easy line at the 20. Gets close, but a little off to the side. On the right side of the center, though. No easy 20s here for Jeremy. Trying to follow through, doesn't get it. On the upside, no easy 20 opportunities for Langill here either. Oh, and passes the opportunity to Hutchinson. I'm curious, it looks like Hutchinson isn't super happy with the touch 20 up the left side. Now the Canadian Cueballs are playing against a hammer, but they're up at 20, so could be going on the defensive here. That wasn't what he wanted, but that's in a good spot with that blue disc in the way. Carrafiello is going to have some trouble getting to that. Looks like he's going to try to go through his own. And he gets it. Beauty shot. Very well done, but he loses his own in the process. Kind of giving up that 2-disc advantage that could have been there. Oh! That one hurts. Jeremy loses his shooter. Ron with an opportunity to get caught up in the cup, misses it. And I think Hutchinson's going to try to take full advantage of this one now. Up the right side, it looks like 20 might just be a touch. I think the off will be a little bit awkward here with those posts in the way. Ah, he doesn't get it. He gets a blue disc off and doesn't leave Carrafiello with anything to work with. Not really, nothing more than a follow-through. And this is kind of a battle of keeping it away from the center, making sure you're not setting up the person to your left. Whoever's shooting next, Carrafiello trying to get some action off the post. Doesn't quite work out. Tracey most likely to hit and stick in that spot. Or maybe roll ever so slightly in between the posts. To his right? Yeah, right there. Beauty spot. All Langill can hope for is to catch something off the post, bring it back. Not quite able. Hits and sticks. Not a gimme shot for Hutchinson, but should be able to make short work of that. It's always so interesting when we get away from the 20s races. We see this very technical battle between the athletes around the board of trying to get away or get in. And yeah, the Canadian Cueballs is doing a great job of that right now. Hutchinson opens up the door a little bit, though. It's not much, but follow-through is a lot easier from this angle than the other places they had it. Oh, again. Carrafiello a bit off to the left. Jeremy most certainly to roll away at this point. Now, the issue with the roll away is I think that post to his right is a little bit in the way. Ooh. Doesn't get the off on the upside. The red disc is in an awkward spot. What Langill could do is he could go through the diagonal lane on the left side to get that, to stay in the 15. But it looks like he's just going to touch it from the outside. Not sure if he can get the off or not with that. We'll see what he does here. We're down to the final few shots, so this could be the make or break shot here. Gets it off, but rolls down to the 5. Now, Hutchinson and Jeremy will be trying to make sure that they can't catch up on points on the board. Right now, Hammer Time only has 15 on the board, which means the Cueballs are winning it by 5 points. So they want to hold on to a situation like this, which is why Hutchinson's going for that further disc. Goes there. Very nice. No opportunities for Carrafiello to get more points. Carrafiello needs to make sure that he hits and stays in the 10, or at least in that area. The ultimate hope will be when it gets around to Ron, he's able to angle in off that red disc, depending which one Jeremy goes for. That being said, if Jeremy goes for that far one in the 5, they could pretty much seal it. I think, yeah, Hammer Time's pretty much out of it. Because Josh can just hit this, and then Jeremy should go for that far one and make it impossible for Ron to get back into this for a tie. Though it looks like he's pointing at that near one. I don't know why he doesn't go for that far one. I'm gonna ask him about that. He could have gone for that far blue and guaranteed that Ron couldn't get back into this. Ron with an angle-in opportunity. If he can get it. Oh! Jammed up by the post. Canadian Cueballs bring the score 6-2 now. You see that beauty roll away from Jeremy. A nice get from Carrafiello as we go into the 5th round of this match. This video coverage is provided to you by Tracey Boards, the official board builders of the World Crokinole Championships. If you want to learn more or to buy your very own board, check out our website in the link in the description below, traceyboards.com. Few 20s around the board. Canadian Cueballs with the hammer advantage. So, slight advantage to them right now, as they are about to have one disc in play, assuming Hutchinson can get the off. And he does, doing a nice job keeping play away from Carrafiello. Jeremy taking some time to think about what to do. That's difficult because that blue disc is right in front of a post. So I don't think Jeremy sees the off. Not sure if he's going to go for a posted 20. That's such an awkward placement. He goes for it and almost gets it. Ron now left with a not super difficult shot. He wants to make sure not to bump his blue disc, but that's about it. Oh! Goes for a follow-through. Doesn't quite get it. 2 blue discs on the board, and it looks like both of them are in the 15. So, at some point in this, Jeremy and Hutchinson, if they want to win this round, they'll want to get a double or start demoting some of those discs, or rolling down so that the discs will be demoted. Having a bit of a discussion here. It doesn't look like Hutchinson sees the double on this one quite yet. Or maybe he does. Maybe just going for that single off. I want to see. Okay, there it is. Nice. Single takeout. Again, doing a good job keeping play away from Carrafiello. Also, an awkward leave. Just because that blue disc in the center is kind of in his laneway. Very thin line there. Carrafiello able to cut through. Holding on to this 2 in the 15 kind of position. And the situation stays like this, and Hutchinson and Jeremy aren't able to get a double or something. Could be a tie round. Not sure if they'll be hunting for a 20. They don't need it right now, but Jeremy getting the off, pulling it back to the 10 ever so slightly. That's the kind of work they need to do. They need to start pulling play back into the 10 region, so there's less blue points on the board. Langill rolling down slightly. That disc only worth 5 points now. We're most likely going to see Hutchinson roll to the far side of the post from Carrafiello here, so he has nothing to work with. Okay, sticking to that far side of the 15. At the very least, no easy 20s here for Carrafiello. Carrafiello gets this, so he'll be left with 20 points on the board. Oh! Loses his shooter. And I'm kind of realizing I was making a mistake. They are tied in the 20s right now. No, okay, no, I was right talking about the strat, but bit of clear up on the board right now. They have one disc in a higher region, one in the lower, or one pretty close. Both those are technically 5s right now. As long as the Canadian Cueballs can roll something up in the end, they'll be good. Most likely going to see Langill peel. Yeah, because they don't want to get into, we call it a Brubaker situation where players can just go back and forth and there's no way for the other team to roll it back in. Now, at the very least, Carrafiello has something to work with. Going to try to angle in for a 20 here. Ah, catches a post. If you were able to get that, it could have spelled trouble for the Canadian Cueballs or put some pressure on them, but nonetheless, oh! Jeremy, father, what are you doing? Catches a post. Still not in trouble, but hammer time. About to have 2 discs on the board. One in the 10, one in the 15. Right now, given those are in different point regions, as long as on their final takeout, Hutchinson and Jeremy take out the higher scoring disc, they should be good to take this round. And it looks like Hutchinson's content with just playing to the outside. He'll want to make sure to pull it back so Carrafiello can't roll in. That's a nice spot. That is well behind the post. Carrafiello might be able to hit it going through the 15, but most likely won't be able to keep his disc in the center. Or it's going to be very, very tough. Looks like he's going for the very thin slice. Oh, almost got a 20 off it. Not quite, though. At the very least, 2 in the 15 now. Jeremy and Hutchinson discussing their options. Right now, yeah, they need a double or a 20 or to roll something out. See what Jeremy decides is the best option. And I do wish I could hear them talking, but acknowledging the situation, they know they have hammer. They know what they need. It's just figuring out that approach. And I think what Hutchinson's suggesting is that Jeremy hit that off and catch a post to roll back so that there's not much Langill can do, and then Hutchinson can just take out the higher scoring one. Ah! Still in the 15 there. We'll see what Langill does. Langill needs to be careful to make sure, however, he gets that red disc off. Both of them, both his blue discs are in the 15, because then that'll put a bit of pressure on Hutch if he wants to get the win on the round. Oh! That's unfortunate. All Hutchinson needs to do is take out that higher scoring disc, and the Canadian Cueballs will take another 2 points, taking the score to 8-2. Hutchinson taking his time. It's always these shots like this, the seemingly easy takeouts on a final pressure shot, and Hutchinson pulls it off. Very nice, getting a semi-awkward fist bump, but nonetheless, Canadian Cueballs bringing the score 8-2 now. They are 1 point away from the 9-point goal post. They can even get a tie round. They will be moving on to the finals. Bit of a mistake on the scoreboard there, hoping Langill doesn't score a 20. Oh, okay. Sorry, Langill, I wanted to make sure I had it right, but passing on the opportunity to Hutchinson now. Heavy hanger, but certainly doable. Ah, doesn't get it. Hammer time with the hammer at a slight advantage right now. Now Carrafiello will want to be careful to make sure he doesn't set up Jeremy with anything. As long as they can keep it where they're tied in the cup and they have more points on the board than the Canadian Cueballs, hammer time should be good. A lot of pressure on them, though, because they can't afford a tie anymore. Looks like Carrafiello will be going up the left side to get that disc. very nice, leaving his between the posts. If Jeremy wants to make anything happen, he has to go for a follow-through. If he wants a 20, it has to be a follow-through. So, at the very least, he will be pushing to try to get into the 15. Sticking between the posts there. At the very least, it forces Langill to stay in. Hard for Langill to get out there. It'll be up to Hutchinson to pull it back further. And that can be such a tricky game because you want to pull it in a little bit more, but you also don't want to pull it too close without a 20 to set up your opponents to get a 20. So a bit of a balancing act there. Carrafiello pulling it close to the center. Jeremy could go for a follow-through. I don't think that's the right play at this point in the game. Still early. Jeremy loses his shooter, and Langill can make that hurt if he can capitalize. Going long, Langill. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. Could be a double chance here for Hutchinson. Gets the 20. Very nice shot. See if Carrafiello can balance out the cup. He does. Pressure on Jeremy now to get play to the center. So close. Unable to convert, though. Langill. Nice small little roll away on the far side of the 15 from Hutch. Hutch pointing out a post. We'll see if he gets it. Not quite. On the upside, not setting Carrafiello up with a 20, but over halfway through the bullets, playing against a hammer. Canadian Cueballs need a conversion of some kind. Could be the opportunity here. Jeremy lines it up. Oh, just misses it. And Langill is definitely going to capitalize. Going up the right side. Nice 20 from Langill. Now up one in the cup with hammer. Hutchinson getting play to the center. But hammer time's pretty comfortable right now. Carrafiello doing a good job making sure play is on the outside. There's absolutely nothing Jeremy can do here other than to get the off. As long as Langill hits one of these, he should be good, and Carrafiello will be primed to take the round. Very nice. I don't think the window's open for Hutchinson to angle in. Yeah, he doesn't see it. You see a head shake. He carved in a little bit, but that's not enough. 25 points on the board. All Carrafiello needs to do is to hit something. Yeah, and he does it. Hammer time. Gets 2 points. Bringing the score 8-4 now. Still with their backs pressed against the wall, but making some progress to get back into this match. Langill to open up. Canadian Cueballs with the hammer. Coming up short. Hutchinson, though. We're going to see what he does here. Is a bit of an awkward spot. I'm not sure if he sees the 20 or not. Oh, doesn't get the 20 or the off. Still sticking in the 15 and not leaving Carrafiello anything. Carrafiello pushing through. We're getting awfully close to a Brubaker situation here. See how there's two blue discs on opposite sides of the boards. Jeremy plays to the far one away from Ron, and then Hutchinson plays to the far one away from Carrafiello. A lot of new players. Now, these players understand what's going on. Langill knows he needs to either just gutter his own or hit off the red and peel. But a lot of new players won't recognize that, and they'll go back and forth until it's too late. Looks like Langill is going to peel that red disc. Carrafiello is not seeing an easy in off that, and I think that blue disc over on Ron's side is potentially an opening for him to get in. Oh, sorry. Hutchinson's going to stick over there, and they'll be hoping that Ron's able to get in later in the match. Trying to catch up the scoreboard. I think that's where we're at. We're going to find out. Carrafiello sticking between the posts there. They need to get something to get back to the center, though, because right now Hutchinson and Jeremy more than content to play on the outside. As long as Hammer Time doesn't get a 20. Oh! Langill's so close, but not quite able to convert. Hutchinson taking his time to consider which is the best to take. Now, Hutchinson could take that closer blue disc and leave a 20 opportunity for Jeremy, but more than likely Carrafiello will try to mess with it. So we see Hutchinson opting to take that blue disc in the center. Oh! Oh, what a gross 20. That was truly fantastic. Carrafiello with a difficult decision right now. Canadian Cueballs have the hammer, now up in the cup. I don't know if Carrafiello just peels everything or if Langill can work with that closer one. I think Langill sees the in off that closer disc. So I think Carrafiello is going to leave it for him and gutter this again. Yeah, he just takes a practice 20. Invalid shot, leaving Ron with that closer one in the 5. Hoping for an angle in here. We saw Ron call it before, so hoping he's confident on this. Because this could be, we're over halfway through the shot, so pressure's on to make things happen. Ron! Ronnie! He does it! Oh, tying up the cup. Bit of pressure on Hutchinson and Jeremy now. Not a lot, but I mean, Hutchinson really wants to make sure if he sets up a 20 for Carrafiello on this with a misfire, he does not. Keeps it tied up in the cup. Very nice. Carrafiello has to play to the outside now. There's not much he can do. I think the best Carrafiello can do is try to roll it over to Ron's side so that Ron is maybe set up with an angle in later. But that's tough. Carrafiello decides to peel. Jeremy can make this hurt. We might be closing into the end of this, folks. Can Jeremy drain this 20? He gets it. Oh, 220 advantage right now. Hammer time with their back to the ropes. We're into this 20s race. Hutchinson and Jeremy, if they just hit a few more shots, they should be good to take this round. 3 shots for each team. Oh, is that in? It's not. That could have been the nail in the coffin. That does it. Shots inconsequential. The Canadian Cueballs have won this semifinal match and will be moving on to the finals to play against the One Cheek Wonders. Final shot for Carrafiello. Doesn't get it. Jeremy debates bumping in the blue, but that didn't go over well the last time he did it. So that is it. The Canadian Cueballs take the win 10-4. Handshakes around the board. Congratulations to all the players for a fantastic match. Seeing some highlights that Anglin Ron called, but it wasn't enough. Now, Hammer Time will be playing against Irish Steel in the 3rd place match. That will be the next match that's out. Then after that, we will have the finals between Eric Mammon and Ian Shaw, the One Cheek Wonders, and Jeremy Tracey and Andrew Hutchinson, the Canadian Cueballs. We're going to have a few other matches from the US Open coming out as well within that time, so make sure you stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the Crokinole universe. My name is Garrett. Make it a great day.